Writer, reporter, and author Jeffrey Toobin wrote about the disputed presidential election of 2000 in Too Close to Call. In The Nine, he's taken a close-up look at the United States Supreme Court and its challenges.
I think Bush v. Gore was a bad decision, and the Nine is not, you know, thumbs up, thumbs down on every decision. I mean, it's mostly descriptive, it's mostly analytical, but I couldn't help myself when it came to Bush v. Gore.
You'd written a whole book about it.
Well, and also because, you know, I think one thing justices owe us is ideological consistency. You know, if you're going to be in favor of states' rights, if you're going to be against an expansive reading of the Equal Protection Clause, you have to do it in a case where a Republican's ox is gored as well, and I don't think the majority did it. I think one decision that reflected how the court has changed and how society has changed is Lawrence v. Texas. It's Justice Kennedy's opinion saying that the state of Texas cannot criminalize consensual sodomy between men, and basically says you can't make people criminals for who they are. And I think that was an example of the living Constitution at its best. Clearly, in the 18th century, there would have been no doubt that that sort of behavior could have been criminalized. But society has changed, and the Supreme Court has changed, and the institution has changed. And one of the things I write about is how in 1986, when Bowers v. Hartwick was decided, which upheld that kind of prosecution, you know, gay law clerks were still mostly in the closet. By 2003, you know, there were gay law clerks out in the open, and this, you know, the justices are sheltered, but this was something that they're not sheltered from, and I think it was hard for at least some of them to say, you know, I can't look at these people every day and think that they're criminals.
That's an important point, because you also talk about the cynicism that can easily develop by people who spend all day, every day in Washington, whether they're a Supreme Court justice or a senator or a congressman or a staffer or you know, a lobbyist, whatever. And that cynicism, I mean, these are people. The importance of that personal interaction, just the life experience that goes on all day, every day, having gay clerks change their perspective.
And that leads to sort of the least cynical justice on the court, who I think is David Souter, you know, who leads this monastic existence, the only bachelor justice. He'd never heard of Diet Coke when he arrived. He had never heard of the Supremes. He doesn't like electric light. He moves his chair around his chambers to catch the light over the course of the day. And it was Souter who was so devastated by Bush v. Gore, because he has this idealistic notion of the court, and sure, people can disagree, but he thought that was such a cynical maneuver that he actually thought about resigning the court. So, you know, some people are more cynical than others, and Souter is not.